Alright, C maintenance checks. At each C maintenance check, first perform the A and B checks in addition with the following. Adjust the injector valve is essential. The injector valve to be corrected with adjust all the time with the engine to operate properly. Other controls, the engine breathing, other the control of the fuel delivered into the cylinder. Finally, operating adjustment must be made with using the correct valve that's being stated. To be sure of the injector valve with the set markings wherever they're located with the proper alignment with the injector type of the engine temperature. The following temperature conditions provide with the necessary stabilization engine component to allow the inaccurate valve of the injector for adjusting the commune engine for the incorporated recommended for the valve injector plugs and plunger adjustments must be made. Then engines when or adjustments be made when the engine is cold. The engine must be also stabilized with 140 degrees Fahrenheit or below. Second setting, restarting the engine is warm is not recommended. The injector plunger adjustment used for the torque of the method of the VVT 378 VVT 505 VVT 555 engine injector valve must be corrected. Adjustment all type of the engine for the operate properly with the engine control engine breathing of the fuel delivered to the cylinder. Final adjustment must be made when the engine is operating. The temperature of the injector must be also adjusted before you valve. The procedure is also flawless. Valve set marking alignment. The turn crankshaft with the direction of rotation until the number 1 VS mark will appear with the vibration damp with the crankshaft pulley. Figure 55, figure 228 with the location valve set mark with the position of the bolt indicate the exhaust valve must be closed with the cylinder number 1 if not in advance with the crankshaft 1 revolution. See figure 229, 220, 230 in table 25 with the following order. Figure 228 shows the valve setting mark for the CID engine. Valve setting marks. Also, the V29, V6 firing order 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. V230, V8 firing order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do not use the fan to rotate the engine. Adjust the injector plug with the crosshaft with the valve with the first one with the explained in the succeeding paragraph with the crankshaft within the direction of the rotate. The next the VS mark with the corresponding with the firing order for the engine and the corresponding cylinders will be ready in adjustment. See figure 2, table 25 with continuing the turn with the crankshaft with the direction with the rotation mark with adjustment until all the injector of the valve has been correctly adjusted. Figure 25 engine firing order the V engines. Right-handed V8 154 86372 and right-handed V6 4142 Two complete revolution crankshaft with the needed to set the injector plug for the valve with the injector valve that can be adjusted for one of the cylinder at the VS settings. Injector plunger adjustment. Before adjusting the injector tighten the injector holding the cap screw 30 to 50, 35 foot-pounds. Injector plunger in all engines must be adjusted with L in inches and pounds lubricant torque wrench to definite torque settings. Snap on the metal TQ 12B with the equivalent torque wrench and the screwdriver adapter can be adjusted for this adjustment. Figure 231 turning the adjusting screw down until the plunger contacts with the cup of the van for the additional 15 degrees with the squeeze for the oil for the cup. The figure 231 adjusting injector for the plunger, loosening adjusting screw with the one turn with the use of the torque of the wrench calibrated in inches per pound of the screwdriver adapter tighten the adjusting screw for the valve shown in table 2.6 for the cold setting tightening of the lock nut. Table 2.6 injector plunger type adjustment for the VVT 378 VVT 504 and VVT 555 engine. Oil kill temperature cold for the 60 inches a pound. Oil temperature hot 60 pounds. Figure 233 turning injector adjusting screw lock nut. After all the injector valve for the adjustment for the engine has been started with warmed up with 140 degrees Fahrenheit oil temperature for the oil, as if the injector for the warm setting of the oil necessary for the injector level the assembly pushing rod have been changed. Hold the injector adjusting screw tighten the injector adjusting screw lock nut to the valve indicated in the table 27 and the ST669 adapters not use the nut torque or the reduce the compensate additional torque with the arm length with figure 232 for the table 27 injector valve with the lock nut torque with the VV378 VV504 VVT555 engines without ST669 40 to 45 foot-pounds, or the SS with the SST 669 30 to 35 foot-pounds. Cross-headed adjustment. Cross-heads are used for the operating two valves with one rocker level. The cross-head adjustment is provided with equal operation for each of the pair of the valve to prevent strain with the misalignment of the loose valve. The cross-head adjusting screw locked in with the back off the screw with one-turn light finger pressure for the lower rocker cover. The rocker level the contact surface to hold the cross-head in contact with the valve stem without adjusting the screw. So, figure 233 shows adjusting the crosshead. 3. Turn on the crosshead adjusting screw until it touches the valve stem. Figure 233 holding adjust screw with the position. Torque with the lock nut and the valve at the table 2.8 with the check the clearance between the crosshead and the valve spring retaining with the wire gauge and that must be in the minimum of the 25 thousandths of an inch clearance at this point. The valve adjustment, the same crankshaft position used with adjusting the injector G with the 7 with the intake of the exhaust valve, the 2A crosshead lock mount with the torque without ST669 25 to 30 foot-pounds, or with the ST669 22 to 26 foot-pounds lock. Loosen the lock mount pack off the adjusting screw and insert the feeler guide between the rocker level and top of the crosshead. The valve clearance are shown with the table 2 down with the torque screw, and turn the screw down until the lever to touch with the gauge with the locking of the adjusting screw in the position of the lock mount. Figure 234 for the torque of the lock mount with the valves indicated with the table 2/7 note with the step 2 under the injector plunger adjustment. Table 29 valve clearance inches for the VVT 378, VVT 504, VVT 555 engine intake valve with oil temperature cold at 12 thousandths of an inch, or exhaust valve oil temperature cold to 22 thousandths of an inch. V903 engine injector indicator adjustment using dial indicator method. The method involved with the adjuster and with the injector plunger. Travel with the accurate dial indicator rather than tightening the adjusting screw with the specified torque. The indicator method eliminates the error adjustment of the cause of the friction of the screw threads. If the distortion over tightening with the adjusting screw, locking up with the check may be made with adjustment without disturbing the locking up with the screw setting. The valves can also be with the check and set while with adjusting, and the injectors must be in the method 2 table 210 for specification. Table 2 adjusting limited use with the dial indicator method to inches for this V903 engine. Injector plunger travel the valve in clearance and intake exhaust. The 1-to-1 rocker level ratio injector lever. 180 thousandths of an inch plus or minus 1 thousandth of an inch, 12 thousandths of an inch to intake, 25 thousandths of an inch exhaust. Before adjustment, tighten the injector, hold down the cap screw 30 to 30 foot-pounds of the torque, and remove the key with using either 3/8 of an inch hex drive or the female type of the bearing device with the 5/8 of an inch 6-point socket with the male type of the bearing device, press inward with the bearing gear, engage with the drive with the key with the band after the completion of the adjustment. Be sure the driver retracts himself with the key inside of the safety lock groove. Use the regular engine bearing device with figure 235 with the rotating the engine with the direction of the rotation with the VS marking with the cylinder 2 and 6 aligned with the pointer. In this position, the intake of the exhaust valve, the rocker leads the levers needed for the number 2 cylinder should be free and can be moved up and down. If not, the bar with the engine. If not, the engine another 360 degree for the direction of the rotation, realigning 2 and 8 VS mark. The time marking of the location or of the use of the dial indicator method, the setting with the injector valve aligning at either location should be held with 1/2 of the inch of the pointer. Figure 236 shows the locating timing marked on the front of the cover of the vibration damper. Number 2 cylinder is selected for the purpose of the illustration only. Any other cylinder could be used if so desired. So you could have 1 and 8 or something like that. Valve setting mark on the accessory drive of the V903. Set up with the SG1270 indicator support with the indicator expansion top of the injector plunger flange. Number 2 cylinder, figure 238. Screw the injector level adjusting screw down until the plunger is at the bottom of the cup at the back of approximately 1/2 of the bottom, then on the bottom again. Set the dial indicator to 0. Care must be taken to ensure the injector plunger is correctly at the bottom of the cup without over tightening the adjuster screw before setting of the dial indicator. Backing the adjusting screw until a reading of the 187 thousandths of an inch. Reference the table 210 with the dial indicator snug tight on the lock nut. Using the ST1251 locker over the lever actuated bottom with the injector plunger, check the 0 setting of the figure 239. Allow the plunger to rise slowly. The indicator must show the plunger travel to be within the range specified on table 210. Figure 239, bottom injector plunger in cup V903, using the SC669 torque wrench adapter to hold the adjusting screw in the position. Torque the lock nut 30 to 35 foot-pounds, and the torque the wrench with the adapter is not equal to holding adjusting screw with the screwdriver torque lock nut 40 to 45 foot-pounds. Actuate the injector plunger several times as in check of adjustment. Remove the dial indicator. Assembly adjust the valve of the appropriate cylinder as determined in step 1, table 210. Tighten the lock nuts in the same injector lock nut. Crosshead alignment. The crosshead are used to operate the 2 valves with 1 rocker lever. The crosshead adjustment is provided with the assure the equal operation for each of the pair of the valves. Prevent strain from misalignment. Leave the valve cover. Leave the crosshead adjusting screw lock nut with the back off the screw with 1 turn. Lighten the finger pressure at the rocker level with the contact surface to hold the cross level in contact with the valve stem without adjusting the screw. Figure 240. Turn down the crosshead adjusting screw until the touch of the valve stem. Hold the adjusting screw in the position, torque the lock nut with the valve in table 2-8. Be sure that the crosshead retainer on the exhaust valve is used with the position equally on the bolt of the side of the spring over the crosshead and the valve springs properly. Check the clearance between the crosshead and the valve spring retainer with the wire gauge. There must be between the 25 thousandths of the clearance at this point. Valve adjustment. Same engine position we use with the adjusting injector, but the using setting take with the exhaust valve, loosening lock nut back off the adjusting screw, then insert the feeler guide between the rocker. Figure 241 adjusting valve V903. Lever to top crosshead, figure 241 valve clearance is shown with the table 210 with the screw down until the lever touches in the gauge lock adjusting screw in the position with the lock nut towards the adjusting screw lock nut for the 40 to 40 foot-pounds and over the 30 to 35 foot-pounds when using the ST669 adapter. You always make the final valve adjustments after the injectors are adjusted. NH743 and N85 CID engine injector valve adjustment dial indicator method. Before adjusting the injector of the valve, be sure to determine the rocker housing on cast iron or aluminum use an appropriate setting of the bead before adjusting the injector for the torque of the cylinder. The cylindrical injector holds down the cap screw for the alternate step of the 10 and 12 pound with the flange injector of the torque with the hold down cap screws alternate step to 12 through 14 foot-pounds. To tighten the fuel inlet with the drain connection 20 to 25 foot-pounds in the flange indicate injectors. Maintain adjustment bar of the engine until the A16 VS mark on the pulley is aligned with the pointer on the gear case cover. The position both the valve cover, the levers and cylinder number 5 must be free with the valves closed. The injector plunger for the cylinder number 3 must be top of the travel, and if not, bar the engine 360 degrees, realign with the mark with the pointer. Set up the ST1170 indicator support for the indicator extension for the injector plunger top of the number 3. Alright, you have your top center and bottom of the VS valve setting mark, C valve setting mark 34, A valve 16 valve setting mark. Figure 243 extension on the contact plunger. Cylinder figure 243, make sure the indicator extension circuit with the indicator is not against the rocker lever. Cylinder number 3, injector setting for the cylinder number 5, valve settings are selected for the illustration purpose of the in-cylinder combination BB with the starting point. So any cylinder with the cylinder number 3 injector with any cylinder combination may be used at the starting point, table 211. Injector valve setting position, start with the A1 through 6 valve settings 5. Select the cylinder injector to 3, valve section B 2 out of the 5 valve settings, 6 injector 3 valve, adjusting to C and 3-4 valve settings 2 and set in cylinder injector to 2 valve settings 6, adjuster advance to A pulley position 1 through 6 valve settings 4, set the injector to cylinder to 4 in valve 2, advanced settings B pulley position 2-5, valve settings set in cylinder injector to 1, valve to 4, advance to C 3 and 4 valve settings for set cylinder to 5, set cylinder to 5, injector to 5 and valve to 1. Using the ST1193 with the rocker level of the actuator figure 2244 with the equivalent bar of the level of the torque for the injector until the plunger's bottom of the screw for the oil from the cup with all the injector plunger of the right for the bottom of the again. See the indicators here, check the extension contact with the plunger top. Put the plunger again with the release of the lever. The indicator must show the travel the indicator with the table tube with the adjustment necessary if loosened tight and the lock nut with the 40-45 to pound with the actuator injector plunger several at the time to check with the adjustment tighten the 35 foot-pounds when using ST669 adapter 212, the adjusting limited view, the dial indicator method inches, and 855 engines. Oil temperature, injector plunger, travel inches, and valve clearance inches. Cold, 170 thousandth of an inch, 11,000 inch air intake of the 23,000 of an inch exhaust inches aluminum rocker housing. Hot, 170 thousandths of an inch adjusting valve with 11 thousandths of an inch intake and 23 thousandths of an inch exhaust. Cold iron rocker housing. Cold, 175 thousandths of an inch adjusting travel, 13 thousandths of an inch intake, valve clearance, 25 thousandths of an inch exhaust clearance. Hot, 170 thousandths of an inch adjusting valve, 111 thousandths of an inch intake, 123 thousandths of an inch exhaust. The NT855 big cam only, non-top stop. 228 thousandths of an injector plunger travel, adjusting valve, 11 thousandths of an inch intake, and 23 thousandths of exhaust. Check the engine data plate for the injector valve setting. Adjust the injector for the valve of the torque method V1710, NH743, and NA55 CID engine. Timing mark alignment. If you have the pull the compression release or level the back and blocking in the open position only when bearing with the engine, loosen the injector rocker level, adjusting not on all of this will aid with the distinguishing between the cylinder adjusted and not adjusted before the adjuster injector for the valve. To be sure, determine the rocker health and cast iron with aluminum. Use the appropriate setting. Bar the engine with the direction of the rotation until the valve set. Mark with the figure 245, 246, 247 aligned with the marker of the pointer with the gear case cover. For example, the A1-6 valve setting for the inline engines with 1 and 6 right, and valve settings on the valve ES1710 engines. Check the valve rocker level for the 2 cylinders aligned with the indicator for the pulley on one of the cylinders for the pair with the both the rocker levels will be free, and the valves will close and the cylinder be adjusted. Adjust the injector plunger first with the crosshead valve with the clearance indicated with the following paragraphs for the following orders: fee table 213 with the inline engine, table 214 and figure 247 with the V1710 engines. Alright, figure 245 shows the valve setting mark of the V1710 and also the valve setting mark of the N8855 on figure 246. Figure 247 shows the valve 1710 piston position. Left and right hand bank. Right-handed rotation 153624, left-handed rotation 142635. Table 214 firing order of the V1710 engines. One left, 6R, 2L, 5R, 4L, 3R, 6L, 1 R, 5L, 2R, 3L, 4R. Left-handed 1L, 4R, 3R, 3L, 2R, 5L, 1 R, 6L, 3R, 4L, 5R, 2L, 6R. Continuing the bar engine for the next valve setting mark with adjusting each of the cylinder for the firing order. Only one of the cylinders is aligned with each of the marks due to the complete revolution of the crankshaft are required to adjust all cylinders. Injector plunger adjustment. Injector plungers will adjust with the inch of the pound torque wrench to the definite torque setting. 248 adjusting the injector plunger of the V1710 and also the 249 the adjusting injector plunger. Step on the Model TE12, the equivalent torque wrench with the screwdriver adapter can be used with adjusting the sheet figure 248 and 249. Turn the adjusting screw down until the plunger contact with the cup of the advance with the additional 15 degrees of the screw of the oil from the cup. Number 1 L and number 1 R cylinder of the V1710 of the engines are gear VA for the engine. Loose with the adjusting screw with one turn, then use the torque wrench calibrated in inch of the pound with the screwdriver adjusting, tightening with the adjusting screw to the valve shown in table 215. Tighten the lock nut with 40 to 45 foot-pounds torque. If an ST669 torque wrench adapter is used, the torque is 30 to 35 foot-pound torques. Crosshead adjustment. As used with the operating of the 2 valves with one rocker level, the crosshead adjustment is provided with the assure equal operation for each of the pair with the valve to prevent strain for the misalignment. Loose the valve cross adjusting screw lock nut with the back off the screw figure 250 with one turn. Figure 215 injector plunger adjustment inches and pounds. 1710 engines 50, NH and T 743 and 855 engines cast iron rocking housing 48 cold set and 72 hot. Aluminum rocker housing 71 and 72 inches pounds cold set and hot set. Figure 250 of the valve crosshead. Use the light finger pressure for the rocker level with the contact strip with the one to hold the crosshead into the contact with the valve stem. To down with the crosshead adjusting screw until the torch valve stem is 3. Use the SG669 torque wrench adapter, tighten the lock down with the 22 to 26 foot-pound. The SG669 is not available to hold the screws with a screwdriver. Tighten the lock down to 25 to 30 foot-pounds to clear the clearance between the crosshead and the valve spring retained with the wire gauge. There must be a minimum of the 200th inch or clearance at this point. Valve adjustments. Same as the engine with the position with adjusting the injector with the setting of the intake exhaust valve. The adjusting valve to make sure that the compression relief on the engine is equipped with the running position. Loosen the lock nut back up with the adjusting screw with the insert the feeler gap between the rocker level and the crosshead. Turn the screw down until the lever touches the gauge with the lock nut with the adjusting screw in the position with the lock nut. Tighten the lock nut with the 40 to 45 foot-pounds torque. When using the ST669 torque, the 30 to 35 foot-pounds, always make a final valve adjustment and stabilize engine lubricating oil temperature. See table 216 for appropriate valve clearances. 216 valve clearances in inches. Intake valve cold sets. V1710, 14,000 inch, 27,000 inch cold exhaust cold set, NHT 743-855 engine cast iron rocker housing 16,000 inch intake valve cold set 29,000 inch exhaust cold set aluminum rocker housing 14,000 inch intake valve cold set and 27,000 inch exhaust cold set interjector valve with adjusting 3375004 injector indicator kit with the KTA 1150 engines. This must involve adjusting the injector plunger with an accurate and dial indicator check can be made with adjusting without distributing of the lock nut. Screw setting of the valves can also be checked for set with the adjusting screw and the injector must be by this method. See table 217. 3375004 injector adjustment kit with adjusting the injector with or without the Jacobs brake on the units installed. It's essential that the injector valve be correct with adjusting at all times for the engine operating properly. With the 217 injector valve is in position, KTA 1150 bar direction, the pulley position set and cylinder injector valve. Start, and it's the bar direction start, A, pulley position A with the set cylinder injector 3 and the valve 5. Adjuster pulley position B, the set injector cylinder injector 6, valve 3. Adjusting to pulley position C, the set cylinder injector 2 and valve 6, and adjust the pulley position A with the set cylinder 4 and the valve 2, and adjusting the pulley position B, the set cylinder 1, position valve 4, and adjusting cylinder C, the set pulley position C, set cylinder 5, set cylinder injector 5, valve 1. Uncontrolled engine breathe. Other controls of the fuel delivery. The cylinder operating adjustment must be made use with the correcting valve stated. Injecting the valve adjustment did not use the fan to rotate the engine. Remove the shaft retainer with the key with the shaft and inward with the bearing gear with engaged with the drive gear with the advance with the adjusting of the complete with the retract shaft. Install the retainer key in the safety lock groove. Figure 251 shows the engine barring arrangement of the KTA 1150. Caution: bearing mechanism gear must be completely engaged with the bearing of the engine to the engine avoid the damage of the teeth of the gear. Bar the engine for the direction of the rotation until the B mark of the pulley is aligned with the point of the gear case for the cover, then position for the valve rocker cover to the left for the cylinder number 3 must be free with the valve closed, but the injector plunger for the cylinder number 6 must be at the top of the travel knob of the bar with the 360 gauge realigned with the mark for the pointer seal stem timing data on this surface B and the top center 1-6, surface B, C, and B and A. Your valve setting, temperature, tampering data. Accessory drive pulley markings. The injector level valve, the only one with the cylinder, cannot be the same with the valve with the set, but the example of the rocker level with the number 3 cylinder, the free valve with the clove with the injector plunger to travel with the number 6 of the cylinder is and be adjusted in any valve setting position must be used at the starting point. See table 217. Install the 3375004 and dial indicator assembly. The rock houser extension 3375005 must go through the opening with the Jacobs brake with the housing contact with the injector plunger top, the figure 253 screw injector level with adjusting screw with the down until the plunger is bottom of the cup with the back off with approximately 1/2 turn with the end bottom again set with the dial indicator at 0. Note the care must be taken to ensure that the injector plunger is correctly bottom in the cup without over tightening the adjuster screw before setting the dial indicator back in the adjusting screw out until the reading of the 304,000 of an inch reference the table 218 and obtained on the dial indicator snug tight and lock nut. Figure 253 shows the dial indicator in place with extension for the contact plunger. Alright, using 3375009 rocker level the actuator assembly supporting plate bottom of the injector plunger and check with a 0 with the setting of the figure 254 with all allow the plunger to rise slowly. The indicator must show the plunger travel through the range and specify on the 218 table 218 adjusting limit using the dial indicator method inches of the KTA 1150 engine. The injector plunger to travel 304,000 of an inch plus 1,000 of an inch valve and clearance 14,000 of an inch and exhaust 27,000 of an inch. Okay, figure 254 actuating rocker level. Using the ST669 torque wrench adapter to hold the adjusting screw in position, torque with the lock nut on 30 to 35 foot-pound. If the torque wrench adapter is not used to hold the adjusting screw with the screwdriver, torque the lock nut to 40 to 45 foot-pounds. Actuate the injector plunger several times at the check of the adjustment. Remove the dial indicator's assembly. Caution the Jacob brake of the not used to be sure of the valve with the crosshead is adjusted before the setting of the valve with the crosshead adjustment. Following adjusting the valve with the appropriate cylinder is determined in step 1 with the table 218. Tighten the lock nut to the sham of the injector. Lock nut with the brake. Jacob with the brake is used with the 3375012. 18,000 of an inch in the failure gauge with the torque of the 3375008 torque wrench adapter set with the adjusting exhaust valve crosshead with the Jacob brake slave with the piston clearance of figure 255. Figure 255 shows the adjusting crosshead to slave piston clearance. Turn both the adjusting screw alternately if evenly with the crosshead feel the gauge with the contact slave with the position with the adjusting screw with the bottom of the valve stem with both back of the adjusting screw out of 1/4 of the and 1/2 the turn starting with the outer adjusting screw next to the warm water manifold with the moving of the screw under the rocker level to retighten gradually unscrew off the crosshead feeler gauge contact with the slave with the position snug tight with the lock nut. Hold the crosshead adjusting screw with a screwdriver to torque with lock nuts 22 to 26 foot-pounds using the 3375008 adapter torque wrench with the C-table 28 with the valve clearance valve. Repeat the adjustment procedure for each of the cylinder T-table 217 with the firing order, injector valve set position, cross adjustment. Crosses heads are you operate the two valves with one. Rocker level the crossing adjustment is provided with equal operation for each of the pair with the valve prevent. Strength with the misalignment, the losing, the valve crosshead adjusting screw, lock nut, back off the screw figure 256, one turn. Alright. So, right here, back off one turn on the valve crosshead. Use the light finger pressure with the rocker level the contact for surface 1 to hold the crosshead into the contact of the valve stem 2. So, 1 after the screwdriver right there, crosshead contact. Turn the crosshead adjusting screw until the torque of the valve stem 3. The ST669 torque wrench adapter tighten the lock nuts 22 to 26 foot-pounds. The ST669 is not available. Hold the screws with the screwdriver tighten the lock nuts 25 to 30 foot-pounds. Check the clearance 6 between the crosshead of the valve spring. Retain it with the wire gauge. There must be a minimum of 25,000 inch clearance at this point. And check the valve adjusting 3375004 dial indicator kit. Eric the KTA 2300 to KTA 3067 engine valve setting marking alignment 245. No key to KTA 2300 to the KTA 3067 injector crossfit. The valves are adjusted with the same valve with referred to the figure 2057 258 with the specific cylinder arrangement engine firing order. Alright, figure 257 cylinder arrangement the firing order of the KTA 2300 and the firing order to the OM204 cylinder arrangement of the firing order KTA 3067. 3 locations are provided where the valve injector alignment marks may be the view of the injector plunger travel. The valve must be set on the cylinder one at the same the valve setting location. So the injector plunger travel the valve both may be set on the one cylinder at the same valve set location. The crankshaft must be turned through 2 complete revolutions to properly set the injector plunger travel and valves. The bearing mechanism may be located on either left bank or the right bank of the flying wheel housing. The cover the plate on the opening of the A and C directly above the bearing mechanism must be removed when viewing the timing marks at the flywheel housing. When viewing the engine with the vibration damper to the figure 259 aligning the time mark on the damper of the pointer of the gear case of the cover figure 259 line this valve setting mark for the vibration damper the KTA 2300 the the bearing engine with the time right bank with the flywheel housing A the valve setting of the time the mark for the flywheel the figure 260 with the muscle line with the scribe mark for the 2 when viewed through the opening of the mark of the A with the flywheel housing. Figure 260 the valve setting marked with the right bank with the flywheel, the housing KTA 2300. When barring the engine from the left bank of the flywheel housing, the C the valve setting timing marks on the flywheel 1 figure 216 must align with the scribed mark. 2. When viewed on the opening mark with the C for the flywheel housing, caution when aligning with the valve set mark with the E for the flywheel housing, the care must be taken with the sure the A and C valve set marks on the flywheel match A and C marked on the flywheel housing opening. Figure 261, the engine bearing device over the rotation until the appropriate valve with the set mark with the line with the scribe mark on the flywheel housing until the valve set mark on the vibration damper is aligned with the pointer on the gear case cover. Any valve set opposite position must be with the starting point with adjusting injector for the crosshead valve determined within the 2 cylinder indicated with both the valves at closed rocker level 3 with the cylinder in position for the injector plunger type with the crosshead valve adjustment. C set up 3375007 indicator support with the rocker level the housing cylinder selected with the indicator extension 3375005 injector plunger type of the figure for 26. Note, make sure the indicator extension for the screw for the indicator stem of the not touching the rocker level using the rocker level the actuator figure 263, pressing the lever toward the injector until the plunger is bottom of the cup with the squeeze of the oil film over the cup. All the injector plunger of the ride for the bottom of the game with the hole in the bottom position and with the set indicator with the 0 with the check the extension contact with the plunger type top. Figure 261 shows the dial indicator and the extension for the contact with the plunger. Figure 261 shows the engine bearing device on the rotating engine bearing device. Rotating with the appropriate valve set mark with the align with the scribe mark with the flywheel housing until the valve set with the mark on the vamper vibration damper the line with the pointer on the gear housing. Cover the dial indicator and place the extension for the contact with the plunger. In figure 263, the bond injector plunger in the cup. 4. Allow the plunger to arrive at the bottom of the plunger. Again, release the level of the indicator must show the traveling cable at the table 219. Adjustment necessary if the adjusting screws, locking nuts were loosened. For adjusting tightening the 40 to 45 foot-pound with the torque to actuate the plunger several times as table 219. Adjusting limits. You put the dial indicator map the inches. The engines KTA 2300 KTA 3067 engines. The injection plunger travel to 308 thousandths of an inch plus or minus 1 thousandth of an inch. Valve clearance intake 14 thousandths of an inch and exhaust clearance 27 thousandth of an inch. Check the adjustment tighten and lock nut for 30-35 foot-pound torque with using SG669 torque wrench adapter to remove the 3375004 quit. Crosshead adjustment crossing head adjusting the operator with the 2 valve with the 1 rock with the level of the adjusting screw with the provided with the assure of the quick will operation for each of the pair of valve to prevent strain from the misalignment of the crosshead adjustment chains as a result of the valve seat wearing during the engine operation. Loosen the adjusting screw with the lock nut back up the screw. One turn with the using light finger press with the rocker level of the contact surface with the 1 with the hold the crosshead within contact with the valve stem 2. The adjuster screw should not contact with the valve stem 3 at this point with the turn of the adjusting screw until the touch of the valve stem. Use the 3375008 torque wrench adapter to hold the adjusting screw in the position tighten the lock nut with the 22 to 26 foot-pound torque. If the torque wrench is adapted, not use the adjusting screw within the screwdriver to tighten the lock nut with the 25 to 30 foot-pound torque. Check the clearance between the crosshead with the valve spring retainer with the gauge. There must be a minimum of 25 thousandths of an inch clearance at this point of the valve adjustment. Insert the correct thickness of the feeler gauge between the rocker level of the crosshead of the valve with being adjusted. See the table 219 with the valve clearance exhaust valve. Valve clearance. Each valve aces toward the front of the engine, within each with the cylinder head with the LB side with toward the rear of the engine side. Each cylinder head with the RB side. Adjusting is required to loosen the lock nut, turning the adjusting screw down with the rocker level to adjust torches the feeler gauge, the locking adjusting screw in the position with the lock nut tightened with the lock nut with the 40 to 45 foot-pound with the torque with when using the SG669 with the torque wrench adapter to tighten the lock nut's 30 to 35 foot-pound torque. After completing the injector plunger travel to class head 248 with the valve adjusting the cylinder bar with the engine is direct rotation until the next valve setting mark is aligned. With the scribe mark with at the flywheel housing the pointer on the gear case cover to repeat the procedure. See figure 257 and 258 with the cylinder arrangement of the engine firing order. Change the oil, change the Android oil. To remove the filter plug figure 264 with the hole marked lube oil. Lube oil 1 lube oil drain position point 2 breather assembly 3 and adjusting screw 4. Fill drain breather fill drain adjusting screw. Move the drain plug tube at the bottom of the Android drain plug with the fill Android clean with the engine lubricating oil. Replace the fill plug. Replace the Android breather. Remove the place for the Android breather. Change the hydraulic governor oil. Change the oil of the hydraulic gum sump for each seat check. Use the same grade of the oil used for the engine. See lubricating oil specifications. When the temperature is extremely low, it may be necessary to dilute lubricating oil enough to oil over the special fluid to ensure the free flow of the satisfaction with the governor action. Backside idler fan drive with inspect the idler assembly to be sure if the pivot arm is not binding you for the following procedure. Check the idler arm for the freedom of the movement. To grasp the pulley, move the pulley with the arm away from the fan belt until the arm is nearly vertical. Release the arm and the pulley. Allow them to move back in the original position against the belt. See the motion with the arm and the pulley. The assembly should be free of no binding. If the arm appears to be binding or tight, release the spring tension plate for the back of the wrench over the square knob on the end of the pivot arm cam while they're holding it on one of the box end wrenches to remove the cap screw with which holds the cap in place, allowing the spring to unwind, allowing the box of the engine with the wrench to rotate the counterclockwise. With the spring of the unloaded, rotate the cap until the slot inside of the cap aligned with the rolling pin for the pivot arm. Remove the cap, pulling it away from the engine. With the torsion of the spring unloaded, the pivot arm should rotate freely. If it does not appear free, then the bushing requires replacement of the repacking with lubricating to inspect the bushing, loosening and remove enlarged hex head cap screws in the center of the pivot arm. Remove the pivot arm from the pivot arm support. Inspect the shaft, the corrosion, clean it, and necessary with the final grade emergent cloth. Inspect the bushing, thrust washers, cleaning and repack them with good grade lubricant such as lubriplate and moly-disulfide grease. Inspect the O-ring with a pivot arm with the replace the necessary. Lubricate the O-ring with the proper insulation. Reassemble the pivot arm and assemble the cap. Use the new spring. Retest the new spring lock cap at the place and install the new fan belt and the testing unit. Clean the complete oil bath air cleaner steam. Steam clean the oil bath cleaner with the main body with the screen with the directly steam jet with the air outside the outlet side of the cleaner to wash dirt out of the opposite direction of the airflow. Solvent air cleaning. Steam cleaning the exterior of the cleaner. Remove the air cleaner oil cup and clean the hose of the air cleaner airline adapter to the air cleaner outlet. Submerge the air cleaner and solvent. Introduce the air into the unit with the 3 to 5 psi. Leave it in the washer for 10 to 20 minutes. Remove the cleaner with the solvent and steam cleaner to remove all the prior traces with the solvent to dry with the compressed air. Clean the cleaner. Caution: failure to remove the solvent mask may cause the engine to overspeed until the solvent is sucked from the cleaner. 7. If the air cleaner is to be stored and dipped into the lubricating oil to prevent rusting of the screen. If the screen cannot be thoroughly cleaned by either method, if the body is pierced with otherwise damaged, and replaced with a new air cleaner. Maintenance checks.